Yo, Canes fan, this is over here at the Parlayroom. Tonight, just gonna chop it up with you about them Seminoles and them Canes. We meet this weekend. Right now, we leads the series. Also, if I'm not mistaken, we're on I think a 5-game winning streak. Right now, the Canes are happy. Canes fans are happy. Baby Canes looking good. So I think it's a good time to start breaking down this process with this next game, which is the Florida State Seminoles. As I said earlier, a lot of us don't like the Seminoles, especially if you're a diehard Cane. If you're a middle-of-the-road Cane, sometimes you cheer for all the Florida schools, especially Florida State, and Miami. Not me. Care about them Canes. First and center. As I told you, I bleed green and orange, but mostly green. So, hey, it's all about them Canes. Right now, we face Florida State this coming up weekend. They lost this past weekend. Do I think we can beat them? Yes. Yes. Do I think they can beat us? Most certainly. How I believe the game will turn out, I'll probably break that out on Friday. Tell you my opinion on if we'll win or lose. Let's address the Seminoles. Their strong point. I believe the Seminoles got a strong running game. I actually believe their running game is the best in the ACC. I do. I particularly like their running back, Corbin. I think he's the best back I done seen at Florida State, in my opinion, since Warwick Dunn. He kind of run a little bit like Warwick Dunn, very shifty. That's one of Warwick Dunn is a running back used to play back in the days for the Florida State Seminoles that gave the Hurricanes the devil. So I believe this running back, Corbin, is just as good, even better. I mean, he's actually bigger, so that plays a lot in my opinion. But I do think that he's a great back, a good back. And I think their offensive line is really blocking for their running backs. So I do think that the Seminoles got a strong running game. I also think if their quarterback play is on point, that's a good strong suit. Right now, I believe that the quarterback they're starting is Mackenzie Milton. He's a transfer from Central Florida, which at the time he was at Central Florida, he was actually probably a Heisman Trophy candidate. Since then, he got hurt, he rehab, he's back, and now he transferred to Florida State, which at times he's played pretty good. If McKenzie start for them, I don't think they'll win. I don't think they can beat Miami with McKenzie due to his immobility. He's not very mobile due to the injury he received. So I don't think if McKenzie if Mackenzie Milton start, I just don't believe that he can bring them across the finish line against Miami. Florida State receiving core, I think they below average. I don't even think they're average receiving core. I think they're below average. So that's a strike against them. Now, me addressing their defense, I think they got a strong defensive line. I think their defensive line is pretty good. And I think their defensive line on our offensive line, our offensive line will allow pressure. The good thing is our offensive line is doing much better at pass protection. Much better. I mean, when King was a starter, he didn't have 1.5 seconds to throw the ball. He was always on constant run for his life. So I do see that the offensive line is blocking better for the Hurricanes. And so that means the defensive line for Florida State. I'm going to get a plus to the defensive line to Florida State just by a small margin. The linebackers, Florida State linebackers, Miami we don't use our tight ends enough. So So I think they'll do their job because we sure don't use our tight end. I think with the tight ends Miami have, they should at least, each one of them should at least get 4 or 5 passes a game. That's 8 passes to the tight end. But they don't do that. Then they typically want to throw the long ball. And so to me, that starts us off weighted in trouble. You know, you run the ball first play you run 2 yards is mine. Second play you want to throw a long ball, incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 8. That's typically us. So I do see that just me evaluating Florida State defense, and when you look at Miami offense, our strong points are Tyler Van Dyke. TVD, that's as they call him. He's proven to be remarkable. I'm talking about, it's just amazing, you know, just looking at him and wondering what could have been, you know, what could have been, what, you know, like right now we got 4 losses and it hurts to even think about them 4 losses because you look and you saying, well, you should have won Carolina, you should have won Virginia, you should have even beat Michigan State. Now, you lose to Alabama. Hypothetically, what if you'd have won them 3 games? They'd be talking about Miami in the top 5 right now. Miami be right up there with the Oklahomas and all, right there. With the Ohio State's right there. Even with a loss to Alabama. So you think of that. I think about that and I'm just... But anyway, let's get back on point. Our offense, our running back, I do think I like Jalen Knight, and I do. I picked him at the beginning of the season to be the best back, by a margin, because I like Chaney. I think Chaney reminds me so much of Frank Gore, and Frank Gore is one of our all-time greats. Not so much at the University of Miami because he got injured twice, but more so that he went to the league and excelled to the point that he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and that's how great Frank Gore is, and how much I think of Frank Gore as a running back for UM. As I said before, I think Jalen Knight reminds me of Clinton Portis, and Clinton Portis went to the league, played for Washington. I don't think he got his just due, but he was awesome running back. I mean, fabulous. So comparing it to Jalen and Chambers, and being Chambers hurt right now, you got Jalen. I believe Miami need to insert another back into the fray. Right now they're using Brown, the transfer from Auburn, which I think he's average. I kind of picture him more as a fullback type of back because to me he don't have the speed necessary. I think they need to end in Thaddeus Franklin. I think they need to shift Brown back or bring him in, use him a couple of plays, maybe 2-3 plays, but you need to bring Franklin in. Give Franklin that ball maybe 8-9 times a game, and bring down Knight and carries, you know, maybe 20 carries. 20 is a good number for him right now with that little body frame. So I'm looking forward to seeing if Miami do that, which I know they're not. Right? Listen, you know, some things are predictable with my Hurricanes. Some things. They're going to always do just enough to barely win or compete so they can say and blame either the players or the refs or something other than the coaches. And so I'm hoping that this game, if we can win, which is going to be a challenge, I'm hoping that we can make a statement. So you can make a statement so you got young players like Avante Williams. My last report, I couldn't really think of his name because it had remissed me. But ever since I seen him play in practice, I said, man, he got the it factor. And then just listening to his interview, I listened to one of his interviews early this week. And I want to offer a bit of advice for the young brother. And not just him. I want to say this to all young Canes who just getting out there and starting to perform for Miami. Don't trust that media. No. Remember, they're not there to help you. Don't trust them. And if you don't know a question that they ask you, if you don't know the answer to a question they ask you, just tell them, I'll get back with you on that. Yeah, don't answer it. Think before you speak. And I don't care how long you got to think. They got the mic there. Just think about it. When they ask you a question, just take your time and respond with a good answer. Why? It's because everything you say, they're going to hold it for one day to bring it back on you. I want to offer that advice to you because I think Avante Williams, I do think you was the next level player. And I do think you're a player that I could just hear the way you talk. I know you love the Kings, man. I know you want to be a part of the tradition on keeping the streak alive with Miami beating Florida State. I know you want to be one of the next great ones. I just want you to know you got our support. You got my support. And you're going to always, hear, regardless what transpires, because a lot of people call me Pop, Big Unc, and most people call me Czar. Yeah. And so I want to lend that bit of advice to you because I do think that you and most young Canes need to hear that. Anyway, just want to say, I'm probably close this out because at the end of the day, you got the Canes and they're coached by Manny Diaz and the crew he put together. And you got the Seminoles coached by, I forgot, Norvell, and whom I think that he don't have long at Florida State. I don't. I don't think the odds are against him to being the coach at Florida State next year for the full year. Now, if he loses to others, they might pull the plug on him after the game. And if we lose to them, I'm sure hoping they pull the plug on Manny. I'm tired of all this. Oh, should Manny keep his job? Oh, I'm tired of this. What Manny got to do to keep his job? I'm tired of hearing that. There's nothing Manny can do to keep his job if I had to find a word. Manny has done enough. He has. To get that check due to him and ride off into the sunset showing I just robbed the University of Miami. Now, he has done enough. Okay. So I'm closing on that. Tonight is Wednesday, November the 10th, I believe. And I'll get back with you on my predictions later on in the week, maybe Friday, about who I think will actually win the game. But I appreciate your time. Always your love. Remember, this is Czar at the Parlay Room. Holla.